case. They'll send you home with a smile on your face on Card Sharks. And here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you. Welcome to Card Sharks. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us at home. Nice to have you. Thank you very much. And a special vote of thanks to Jennifer Brown from Boston, Massachusetts, who sent in that fine opening poem. We appreciate that. We're in the middle of the first game of a best 2 out of 3 match, so we'll open up the board and get to the cards. Janice and Ann, if you will, load in the cards. While they're doing that, we'll meet our players on Card Sharks. Louise Silk, our champion. Hi, Louise. I'm fine. How about you?
Oh, glad to be here.
You look happy. You're $4,300 richer as a champion.
I can't believe it.
Why?
I just can't.
Have you never been lucky?
No, I've been lucky, but I just can't believe I won $4,300 already.
Like to win some more?
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what you're here for. Our challenger, Kathy Gordon. Hello, Kathy. Nice to see you again. We met you briefly, so would you tell us a little more about yourself?
I'm Kathy Gordon. I'm a native of Los Angeles. I fly for a major air carrier out of Los Angeles for 10 years, and I belong to the world's only all-stewardess softball team.
That's terrific. Is it hard to get on the team?
It's not hard to get on the team as a player, but we're coached by the LA County Fire Department, and we have a long list of coaches.
Long
yeah.
waiting list for that. Yes. All right. Good luck to both of you. Each player has her own deck of 52 playing cards, shuffled and cut before we go in the air. Louise, the champion, plays the upper cards, the red cards, and Kathy, the challenger, plays the lower cards, the blue cards. And as you can see, Louise needs just 2 cards, Kathy needs just 2, and before you can play the cards, you must win a high-low toss-up question based on a poll of 100 people. We are at question 3, and Louise, the question to you. We asked 100 unmarried women. If you could have a date with any member of the United States Senate, or any player on the Los Angeles Rams football team, from which group would you choose your date? How many unmarried women said they would rather date a member of the United States Senate?
Well, I know a lot of those senators have money, so I'll say, 45.
45. Which would you choose, Louise?
I choose senator.
Yeah. Kathy, she says 45 would rather date a member of the United States Senate than the LA Rams. Higher or lower?
I think there's probably some better-looking men on the football team, so I think probably lower.
You say lower?
Yeah.
I'll find out as you do. If it's lower, Kathy, you go to the board first. If not, it'll be Louise. The actual number of unmarried women who would rather date a member of the United States Senate than a player on the Rams is 22. It's lower, Kathy. Yeah. Kathy, we left off with a base card of a 9, but you won the question, so you have the right to change it.
I'm going to change it.
Here's the next card off the top of your deck. You must play this one. It is a 2. Great change.
Okay, and I'm going higher.
And she says this one is higher than a 2, and it is. It's a jack. Now remember, you can freeze or you can try for it.
I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to go lower.
If this is lower than a jack, you've won the first game in our best 2 out of 3 match for the win. Yes, it's an 8. She did it. Game number 1 to the challenger. Let's quickly set up for game 2. Fine win there, Kathy. Kathy's got 1 game and $100. And, of course, the winner of the best 2 out of 3 gets to play the money cards where you can win thousands. Same 2 decks of cards, and Ann will set them up with the next cards off the top of the deck. Kathy, we asked 100 lawyers, have you ever had to sue your own client in order to collect your fee? How many lawyers said they had sued a client?
I think that might be a pretty common thing. I would say 60.
60 have had to sue a client, Louise. Higher or lower?
Well, there are a lot of cases, but I think I'll have to say lower.
Lower than that. The actual number of lawyers who have sued their own client to collect their fee is 28, very much lower. Louise. And in a game that Louise needs to win, she starts with the jack.
Okay.
You want it, Louise?
Okay, I want it, and I'll go lower.
Lower than a jack? Yes, it's a 3.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll go higher.
Continuing higher than a 3. It is a 4. 2 cards to protect now. What are you going to do?
I'll go 1 more. I'll go higher.
Higher than a 4. It is. It's a 9.
I'm at freeze.
And we'll move the freeze bar over. Can't take those cards away from you. Louise needs just 1 to tie up the game. Louise, we asked 100 women. Have you ever told your best friend she looked terrific in a new dress when she really looked rotten. How many women admitted they had done that?
Well, I'd say 90.
90. Kathy, higher or lower than 90?
You shouldn't tell your best friend that. You should tell her the truth. I'm going to go a little lower.
You say lower?
Yeah.
You would tell your best friend, boy, you look rotten today?
I might not say rotten. I might just say...
The actual number of women who had told their best friend she looked terrific in a new dress when she really looked rotten is 49. Kathy, very much lower. And Kathy, your base card in this game, a 4.
I'm going to keep that, and I'm going to go higher.
Higher than a 4. Yes, a king.
All right. Okay, let's go lower.
Lower than a king, a queen. Ooh.
Lower.
Continuing
Lower.
again, lower than a queen. A very much lower, a 3. We got to risk them all or what?
Higher.
If this is higher, we have a new champion for the win. Yes, for the 4, she did it. Wow. Great win. Congratulations, Kathy. Louise, thank you. You're a delightful champion. You're leaving us with $4,300. Thanks for being here. Kathy, come on down. The world's prettiest catcher, right? She's going to play the money cards where she can win thousands right after we take time out for this commercial message. Kathy Gordon, our friends here in the audience rooting you on, and I know our friends at home are doing the same thing. You ready?
I'm ready.
Then let's open the board and get to the money cards. Come on over, Kathy. Hop on up. Kathy, you won $200 in the game. That's yours to keep. Got a brand new deck of cards for you now and new money to play with. And this time you're going to bet that money. Start on the bottom line with $200, these 3 cards. When you move up to the second level, we add another $200 of betting money and we give you 3 more cards. $50 minimum bets until you get to that top card, the big bet. There you must bet at least half the money. Let's tear it up. Get good intuition, bet them right. Here's $200. As in the game, you have a choice of 2 base cards. Kathy, we start with a 6. Do you want it?
No, I don't want it.
You must play this one. I hope it's a good change. Oh, a 9.
9.
Ooh, kind of a tough start, but we got a ways to go. $200 and a 9, Kathy.
I'm going to start out slow, and I'm going to go $100 that it's lower.
$100.
Yeah.
Lower than a 9. And it is. It's a 5. Gets you to $300 now, Kathy, with a 5.
I'm going to go $150 that it's higher.
Again, she bets half of it. $150 higher than a 5. Yes, it's a 10. You're up to $450 with a 10.
I'm going to bet $200 that it's lower.
$200 lower than a 10. No, it's a jack. You lose $200, but that's all right. The jack with $250 moves up here, and we give you the other $200 of betting money. Kathy, you've got $450 with 4 cards to go.
$300 that it's lower.
$300, a big bet on a jack. Lower. Yes, an 8. $750 with a middle card, an 8.
$100 that it's lower.
$100.
Lower.
Lower than an 8. It is. That's a 6. $850 with a 6, Kathy.
$100 higher.
$100 higher than a 6. No, a 2. But Kathy, that's the first good card you've really had to play with here. You've been struggling along, but now you've got a 2. $375 you must bet. You've got $750.
All of it.
The whole thing.
$750 that it is higher.
All right, nothing or $1,500. Higher than a 2. It is. Good job. Did it very well with some bad cards, Kathy. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Come on down here. Good job on that. That good?
Oh, thank you.
You now have $1,700, Kathy Gordon. We'll be back right after this commercial break with a new champion. We're back with our champion, Kathy Gordon. $1,700, Richie. Played that very well.
Oh, thank you.
Nicely done. You were looking what? At
Yeah,
this?
I like that. That's really nice.
Oh, it has my name on it. It's Jim Perry. See, my first producers gave this to me because I changed my name. I had the same name as a very famous person. My real name was Helen Hayes, so I had to. Kathy, let's meet a new player. And if you will, 2 brand new decks of cards. And here's our next challenger on Card Charge. Sharon Selman. Hello, Sharon. Welcome.
Meet you.
Nice to meet you. Won't you tell us about yourself?
Hi, my name is Sharon Zellman. I'm a recent graduate with a teaching credential. In the past, I was an LAPD police officer, and in the future, I hope to work in aerospace and practice law.
Now, wait a minute. Now, you just graduated as a teacher.
Yes.
You were a policeman.
Yes.
But you want to work in aerospace.
Yes.
Why did you get a teacher's credential?
Why not?
True.
Some to fall back on if nothing else happens.
Well, that's terrific. You are a very varied lady, Sharon. Nice to have you here with us.
Nice to be
Good
here.
luck. You'll play the lower cards, the blue cards, while Kathy plays the upper cards, the red cards. Kathy, we asked 100 married women, if your husband didn't come home all night, would you rather he had been with another woman or in an accident? How many women said they'd rather he'd been in an accident?
That's a terrible question.
That's why we asked it, Kathy, yes.
An accident? No. What was the end now?
Yes. How many women said they'd rather he'd been in an accident if he'd been out all night rather than being with another woman?
No, they can't be that mean. I'm going to say 35.
35,
Yeah.
she says. Higher or lower, Sharon?
Okay. 35, that he's been in a car accident?
That's right. They hoped he was in an accident rather
Okay,
than with another
I'm going
woman.
to say higher. Higher.
Higher.
Yeah.
Just they don't want him to be with another woman.
No.
The actual number of married women who, if their husband didn't come home all night, would rather he'd been in an accident than with another woman is 41. It's higher, Sharon. Sharon, your base card is a 4.
Good,
You want it?
good card. Good. Go higher.
Higher than a 4? Yes,
All
it's a
right,
7.
Freeze, freeze.
Freezing it right there. That keeps Kathy away from her cards. Question 2 to you, Sharon.
Okay.
We asked 100 pregnant women, is your obstetrician a woman? How many pregnant women said yes?
Okay, I think really few. I would say 10.
10 women had women obstetricians.
No, I think there's more women obstetrician out there. I'm going higher.
They're higher than that.
Yeah.
The actual number of pregnant women whose obstetrician is a woman is 8. It's not higher. Sharon, now you have the right to change that 7 if you
I
like.
definitely would like to change it.
And it changes to a 3. Good change.
All right, it's got to be higher.
Higher than a 3? Yes, it is.
All
It's a 9.
right, okay, I'll freeze, please.
And again, freezing, taking it 1 card at a time, but that keeps Kathy away unless she can win the question. Kathy, we asked 100 full-time housewives across the country. If you could have an interesting part-time job starting tomorrow, would you take it? How many housewives said they would?
The grass is always greener.
Can I quote
80.
you on that, Kathy? 80. 80 would take a part-time job. Sharon?
Okay, I think women who are housewives like it, so I'm going to say lower.
Lower than that.
Yeah.
The actual number of housewives who said they would take a job is 75. Just a little lower. Sharon again. And again, you have the right to change your base card.
Change it, please.
See if we can get a better one this time. Yes, a 6.
Good,
A
that's
little
better.
better.
That's a lot better. Okay, we'll go higher.
Higher than a 6. A 4. No. First time you failed, and that's the first look at a base card for Kathy, who has a 9.
Finally.
You can't change it. Call the next
Okay,
card.
I'm going to go lower.
Lower than a 9. Yes, a 4.
I'm going higher.
Higher than a 4. A 7.
Freeze.
Freezing it right there. We've got a tie as we fill in the spaces. Each player needs 2 cards, and we're at sudden death. Sharon, we asked 100 nurses. Did you faint the first time you watched an operation? How many nurses said yes, they did?
No, okay, I've got a couple girlfriends who are nurses, and they're really gutsy, and they can take blood. So I'm going to say it's low, and it's 15.
15.
I like that.
Fainted the first time, Kathy.
I was in nurses training for a little while, and nobody did, so I'm going for lower.
Lower than that.
Yeah.
The actual number of nurses who fainted the first time they watched an operation is 11. It is lower. Kathy. Kathy, now on sudden death, you have a 7. You have the right to change it and try to turn these 2 cards over, but make a mistake, and Sharon wins. Or you can force Sharon to play off the 6. She cannot change it. She'd have to turn these 2 cards over, or you win.
God.
Your decision. Play it or pass it.
I'm going to play it. I'll play it.
Are you going to play with a 7?
No, I'm not going to play it with the 7, though.
Well, you must play it with this. It is, it's an 8.
No.
Uphill battle now. You're right up the middle. You need both cards for the win. Kathy, call it.
I'm going to go higher.
Higher than an 8. Yes, it's a king. Lower for the win. Yes, he did it. Game number 1 of the champion with $100, and we'll be right back for game 2 right after we take time out for this. And Kathy leads 1 game to nothing with $100 and same 2 decks of cards. Here are the next cards off the top of the deck. Kathy, question to you. In game 2, we took a confidential poll of 100 married women and asked them, does your husband ever call you by a nickname that he wouldn't want anyone else to hear? How many women said yes?
Nicknames. Those can be pretty embarrassing. I don't know. I'm going to cut it down the middle and go for 50.
50. Right up the middle, Sharon. The pressure
That's
to you.
really nice. All right. Okay. I'm going to go lower.
Lower. You're giving me the answer and arguing with the audience at the same time. The actual number of married women whose husbands call them by a nickname they wouldn't want anyone else to hear is 25. It's lower. Sharon, your base card.
Good. All right, good. Okay, make it go low, please.
Make it go. I can't do that, but I'll turn it over for you. Lower than a king. I did make it go low. It's a queen.
Thank you. All right, make it go lower again, please.
Lower than a queen. It is.
All
It's a 9.
right, fine. Freeze.
But you'll freeze. You can get 2 cards to tie up the match. Sharon, we asked 100 Playboy bunnies. Do you ever feel silly dressed up like a rabbit? How many bunnies said yes?
Yes. Oh, I don't think that many do. I think it's really something neat to be a Playboy bunny. So I'm going to say 18.
18 said they feel silly dressed up like a rabbit, Kathy.
I would feel silly dressed up like a rabbit. I'm going higher.
Higher.
Yeah.
The actual number of Playboy bunnies who said they feel silly dressing up like a rabbit is 27. It's higher, Kathy. Kathy, your base card. A king. Lower than a king. It is a 9.
I'm pretty lucky. Lower.
You're going to risk it. Lower than a 9. And she got away with it. A 4. Higher than a 4. No, that time it didn't pay off. And that's the risk you take. You lose all 3 of those cards. Sharon, play off the 9 and call this one.
Okay, I say it's lower.
Lower than a 9. No, it's another king. You couldn't take advantage of it, but of course you're protected by that freeze bar. Kathy, as we fill in the spaces, we asked 100 8th grade boys and girls in Wabash, Indiana. What automobile company produced a car called the Edsel? How many 8th graders knew the Edsel was produced by the Ford Motor Company?
Not very many adults know that anymore. Little boys would, though. I'll go for 60.
60 knew the Edsel came from Ford, Sharon.
I'm going to say lower. I don't think they'll know. Lower.
The actual number of 8th graders who knew that the Edsel was produced by the Ford Motor Company is 51. It's lower, Sharon. Sharon, you want that 9?
No, I don't.
And we have a 4.
Yay! Okay, make it higher.
Higher than a 4? Yes, it's an 8.
Freeze it.
And you'll freeze, meaning just 1 card might not be a bad strategy because we're at sudden death. And the question to you, Sharon, we asked 100 people, be honest, are you absent-minded? How many people said, yes.
Okay, I don't think that many people are that absent-minded, so I'll say 30.
30 people said they're absent-minded, Kathy.
I am, and I'll admit it, higher.
The actual number of people who remembered to fill out the poll and say they were absent-minded is 56. It's higher, Kathy. Kathy, you've got an interesting decision now on sudden death. You've got a good base card, a king, but you have to turn over 4 cards to win. 1 mistake and Sharon wins, or you can force Sharon to play off a bad card, an 8, but she needs just 1 card. Your decision. Play it for 4 or pass it for 1.
I think I'm going to let Sharon play hers off.
You're going to let her play it. Sharon, call this card.
All right. An 8's in the middle, so I'll say it's lower.
Lower. If this is lower, we've got a tie match. If it is not lower, Kathy wins 2 in a row and goes on to the money cards. For the win? No, it's not lower, it's higher. And strategy paid off for Kathy. Good play. Sharon, thank you for for joining us. We had some nice party. It's your delightful lady. Thanks for coming. Kathy, come on down here. Congratulations. And we'll be right back with a money card right after this. Well, we've run out of time, so Kathy will be back, and she'll play the money cards when next we meet on Card Sharks. Bye-bye. Have a nice weekend.
A representative of the studio audience will receive Franciscan's new Kaleidoscope Dinnerware. Mix and match the 4 dazzling colors to create a multitude of settings for any mood, any event. Safe in dishwasher, oven, and microwave, plus 3-piece microwave cookware set furnished by Franciscan. And some of our contestants will receive Cool Ray fashionable sunglasses that win admiring stares while protecting from annoying glare. 86 eye-catching styles. See what you're missing with Cool Ray polarized sunglasses. And Town & Country tableware by Washington Forge. Beautiful Fleetwood handles and Mirror Bright stainless steel dishwasher safe from Washington Forge. And seal a meal you're cooking. Airtight bags go from freezer to hot water. No mess, no bother. Daisy Seal a Meal simplifies your life. And Miro's Electric What a Pizzeria. Professional style pizza from frozen mix or scratch. Save 70% energy over range ovens. What a Pizzeria from Miro. This is Gene Wood speaking for Card Sharks, a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.